So, I've come to talk to you about something very near and dear to my heart, and it's called spiritual gardening. And this time, spring started, and I figured it's a good time to use the pun. Spring has sprung, and now it's a good time to talk about seasonal maintenance and spiritual gardening and what that looks like. So I've heard that spring is similar to the beginning of a new year. And with this understanding, I feel very excited. It's a time where water seems to be flooding through. That pool of creativity is overflowing and everything seems to be catching root. It's a pretty intense time. And I know in some hemispheres it's fall, and that's also really interesting to think about it. I think in terms of gardening, for both of these seasons, you have to do some clearing so that you are prepared for the next season. And so I feel like this is a very transitionary time where growth is really reflected. In the spring, it seems like life is being brought forth, and in the fall, it seems as if all life is lost in some way. So I'm alive, and I'm trying to figure out this whole spiritual gardening thing, and I'm trying to just accept that I don't really know what I'm doing. And I've been throwing around seeds here and there and realizing that inside my heart there is a garden growing. And the more I pay attention to these things, it's more like light. And during this time in the spring, especially, the light increases. And we've reached an equinox where the sunlight and the, the moonlight, the darkness, has equalized, and they're the same. So now we are at this point where the sun is increasing and things start to grow faster. I'm noticing this with the gardens, and I guess I'm noticing this with me. I get a little bit more hungry during this time. I feel like the need to consume more, and it's almost as if I know I'm getting ready to create and do a lot. So it's like this constant kind of movement and this need to feed myself, to get ready for the work that is here for me to do. And also, in a way, it's like breaking down the seeds. I am consuming this to break it down so that it can help me with the growth that I am experiencing. So it's time to feed those seeds. And I guess it's time to think about this in maybe a more spiritual way. Some people fast during this time because it's a way to really connect with that deeper thing that you care about, that brings you life. And source, is everywhere. And during this time, you can find it very much in your attention. And so paying attention to these little things, it's worth it. You will gain life from it. And it will assist you at your growth on your journey to wherever and whatever you're choosing to grow. Now, I've been doing my best to share my thoughts and document something because you gotta pay attention, and I really want to understand spiritual gardening. So this is my attempt to create some form of content, something to be a vessel for this message of me documenting the journey of learning about this deep philosophy and practice of cultivating yourself from the inside out. Your environment, your energy, everything. And right now I feel, and for a very long time, that spring is like a blank page, and it's kind of hard. Like the seeds that I plant, those are what I choose to grow. And I will, whether they're weeds or they're seeds, however you look at it, some are harder to cultivate than others. It's going to be a journey, and I'm going to have to figure it out. And right now I am allowing myself to kind of pour emotion into the things that give life, and understanding what that feeling of life is, and also knowing the purpose and the placement of death. How death helps, how compost breaks down and becomes a soil that is so needed in order for these things to grow. And so seeing no waste, no bad in anything, as much as seeing the good. And I'm still working on it, and I feel quite lost, but I have a feeling, like a glimmering of hope, that as long as I am aware of what seeds I am planting, and I am watering them with my emotions, which sometimes, quite honestly, it's a wave. As I said, when it comes to no good or no bad, I have to be okay with sometimes when my emotions are a wave of sadness or anger, or if they're a wave of joy and peace. And in this way, I'm able to navigate and know where to direct this water, because it's going to flow regardless. And I see that as a way to water these seeds and not get myself tangled too much in the weeds, because trust me, I get in my own way sometimes. But I've been noticing something so beautiful. At this point of the video, I wanted to remind you to drink water. So that's why I kept this part in. Drink water. Drink up and suck it up, buttercup. As the saying goes, life will continue, and you have to accept the flowers with the thorns, because you will find both of them. And finding a way and a purpose to direct both of them is how you cultivate your energy. And sometimes that means cleaning up old things that you are scared of or have abandoned or felt overwhelmed, and taking them one at a time, because I'm telling you, God is with you and they are leading you. You are one with nature. And love is a powerful thing. Use it wisely. Anyways, I think this is a lot to reflect on, but hopefully you've enjoyed doing this with me because it's been quite nice to just let the stream of thoughts go and create this video and realize the power that this season has to create is so potent. An element I would associate spring with is water because it is the source of life, and spring seems to be quite abundant in this element. It allows for seeds to germinate and breakthroughs and breakdowns and burnouts all seem to kind of surround this beautiful time. And so I feel this sudden urge to ground, so my roots are firmly planted and I can see how they grow after knowing that I've done my best to create an environment that I can thrive in and I can grow with the ones I love.
Mango curry with coconut milk. I was also thinking of making like a pork teriyaki with those udon noodles. And they come up early spring.
My friend, at this point, it's time to get busy and do the work that is important to you. Remember to drink lots of water, stay hydrated, water yourself, and focus on growing the things that give you life so that you may grow more abundantly and do what you are here to do, aligned with nature and all of our purposes.
Wow.